Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream. Hope you're doing well. Happy weekend, as always. What is going on? I'm gonna enable the chat, maybe bring in the bottom banner as well. How's everyone doing? And let's also bring in this guy right here. Awesome. So one of the things that I wanted to share is I mentioned to you that I was participating in the Killers Hackathon. I can see that my last live stream was actually building something or trying out something for the hackathon just before the day of the hackathon. And if you have not seen the post already, we won the hackathon. Hey, we should have had some voice effects right now, but I'll probably try to open that in a bit. But yeah, we won the hackathon. It was super nice. We enjoyed. There were 2 people in my team, including myself, so me and Adam, and I shared that in the chat as well. It was super fun and interesting on what we built. I will be creating a video on that pretty soon. Actually, I have, but I am waiting from someone for the approval, and then I'm gonna publish it. So it's gonna come soon. But as a prize, we won a couple of things. We won this T-shirt from Google, and we also won a webcam, and I think it's a cap. So we won 3 things, and we also had some. Now we have some follow-up meetings with the people who were in the jury. I think they were all C-level people from different companies, Oleans. I think there's one person from I think Net on Nat. So we have different follow-up meetings scheduled, hopefully, inshallah. But what have you been building? Animesh Maiti says, I have learned so much from you. Thanks. No problem at all. I am happy to help. And whenever there is a particular topic you want me to cover or look into, you can definitely let me know, and then I can try to integrate that as much as possible. So today I was hoping to work on something that includes a bit more of AI. AI is something that I've been looking or I've started looking into quite recently, so it's not something that I do quite a lot. But yeah, I've been looking into Google Gemini. I've been looking into the techniques of fine-tuning a model using RAG and other things as well. Anyway, I should subscribe. My bad. Come on. What are you talking about? Do it. Okay, where's my voice mode? I've been thinking about just switching to Linux a couple of times, because in Windows sometimes when I try to open something and it already was open before, but I close it, it would not work at all. So it's interesting. Mohammed Jari says, please teach Context API and Redux Toolkit. Let me show you something. Mohammed Jari, do you understand Urdu or Hindi or any of those? And that also reminded me of one person who asked for a free slot. I'm gonna share my screen. But Jareer, do you understand Urdu or Hindi? And let me also bring back banner as well. Ooh, where's my bottom banner? There's my bottom banner. Okay, I'm going to share a link with you in the chat. In short, go and buy this course. There were 2 slots remaining, but I'm not sure if I still have 2 slots remaining. But I can double check. But you can still try to apply for free from the link that I just shared above. When you go to the course, you will see the content. If I scroll down, you're going to find the exact thing that you asked me. Prop drilling and context API in React. 41 point or 41, almost 42 minutes. So I'm covering this in Urdu for about 42 minutes. What is prop drilling and why we use context API instead of the use state or passing state, or passing props down the chain of the components. Then you also talked about Redux. There's the introduction to Redux, about 13 minutes. Then API calls with Redux using Thunk, about an hour. You can see. Then we build a mini project using React and Redux. So you know context. By the time you reach this particular place, you know context, you know Redux, the introduction of it, you know what is Thunk, when to use it, and then you actually build something with React Redux. And once you're done with all of this, you can also take quizzes that are based on all these topics. So that's not just one thing. That's only one of the chapters, so to say. So we have React fundamentals, state management in React, React router, testing React applications, and we talk about both unit testing and end-to-end testing. Then we also talk about a real world project, which is the pizza restaurant app as well. And you can click the preview once and then you can see those as well. And finally, you have recap and next steps. So do look into these, okay? I'm going to clip this, but those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can also clip this. Press the clip button, and then you can share with me later on, so I can also share this on other social media. The sad part is that not a lot of people know about these courses. And I can guarantee you that the level of expertise shared in these courses is almost unmatched on what you find usually on the internet. If you're not going for the top influencers and you go with someone who doesn't have a lot of following like me, you will probably not find this quality of course. I have been working with React for about 9 years now. No, not 9 years. Only 6 years now. I've been working with Angular for about 11 years now. Anyway says, can you please give me some brief about Angular 17 features? Currently, I'm trying to understand smart and dumb components. Really good question. Let me go and show you something interesting. Where is it? Not in my last 30 videos, seems like. What's new in Angular 17? 9th November 2023. Is it almost a year now since I published this? That's wild. That's crazy wild, man. I'm going to share this in the chat. You can see the link right here. I hope that helps. Animesh. Is it Animesh? Animesh? How do you call it? Or is that even your real name? Zen shows a heart. Shariar says, Mashallah. Thanks for trying to share your knowledge with us. No problem, Aya. No problem at all. Happy. I'm happy. So do look into these, the React course, and you can also look into the Angular videos as well. And if you really want to get started with Angular and you have no knowledge absolutely, Animesh, then you can look into the recent video, which is the Angular crash course. I hope I can go to the first one, which is this one, Angular crash course. So in this one, this is about 90 minutes of video of basically the crash course, and we cover a lot of things, including components, directives, pipes, making HTTP calls, signals, all the things that you need to know and get started with Angular. So a lot of those things are covered. Rahmatullah Bashir. I'm gonna share the link here. I do have this particular page, which I don't think is really good for sales, because this is the actual page. When you go here, you actually see the course, the curriculum, all of those things. But for the people of Pakistan, I actually have to share this page because not a lot of them have credit cards that work internationally. So they also then can pay with bank transfer and apply for the free slot as well. So this is the page that I can share with you, but I think I need to make this better. I don't have enough time yet, but I'll probably try to find something that works. Have I missed any message? Anime says I'm Bengali from Kolkata. Good, good, good. Awesome. I don't know any Bengalis here in Sweden. Do I? No, I don't think so. But I know a couple of people from Bengal who are also experts in other categories. For example, I'm an expert in Angular, but I know someone from Flutter who has the second most followed YouTuber, I think. Jarir is asking a personal question. Why are you into Angular so much? Because most people like React.js more than Angular. Um, yeah, it really depends on where or how you see it. It's not necessary that what most people like is the right thing in a lot of cases, so to say. So it depends, really. I am into Angular because I see the benefits of Angular, and there are many. For example, if we just talk about the benefits of Angular, once you learn Angular and the core concepts, you can switch teams easily within your company, but you can also switch companies. And when you go to a new company, it's very likely that the code that you will see is going to be almost the same as what you have done before. When you go with React, it's not the same case. Some teams use higher order components, some teams don't. You'll see class components, you'll see functional components, you'll see the use of X state management library, Y state management library. You will see different patterns that people have invented for their particular use case and domain. It's not consistent throughout. So, and that's fine, because that's also one of the, according to some people, it's a nice thing about React that it's very unopinionated. So there's no opinion about how to work with React, which means everybody can do their own style of coding with React, if that makes sense. When it comes to Angular, Angular is a very opinionated framework. It's not a library. React is a tiny library, and Angular is a framework. So when you need to do something with React, you need to install packages. Whether you want to do something with forms, you want to do something with testing, you want to do something with HTTP calls, you need a lot of libraries. When you talk about Angular, it's a framework and it comes with a whole ecosystem. So it has a lot of good things. And also Angular started as the first framework in the market. And when I started my career, I actually started with the Angular. Then Angular was the first project in my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, who adopted TypeScript as a first class feature or a first class component for the whole framework. And since then, I've been working with TypeScript. So I've been working with TypeScript probably more than any React developer out there, because React adopted it quite late. So yeah, those are some of the reasons. And I just like Angular. You can call it bias or whatever. But 6 years ago, I also became a Google developers expert in Angular. Most of the times you can't really see that, but the plank that's right there, the white thing, and you see some badges as well. Maybe I can hide the chat. So here you see some badges on my finger. Those badges are, and that plank, that whole thing is actually my GDE or my Google developers expert. Ooh, that's not what I want to show. My Google developers expert sort of certificates or honorary plank, so to say, from Google. So yeah, I like it quite a lot. Anumi says, I've tried React and Angular, but I like code structure of Angular. Okay, cool, super cool. Is it good to switch companies frequently, like after a year or two, for better learning? Currently in a product-based company, and now it's kind of like very less learning. If you feel like your learning is not too much, then you can switch companies. But it really depends. I can't give the same advice to every single person, or the same advice, so to say, because every person's situation is completely different. Some people like product-based companies because it's much mellow. It's a bit slower. You have a lot of room to learn alongside your daily tasks, which is a really big bonus of working in an enterprise company or a product-based company. But if you feel like you're not learning at all, and you have already tried finding opportunities, because I'm assuming you're not, just sitting in your corner desk and you're like, I don't have work to do. If you're not doing that and then still you don't have work, then yeah, I think you can switch. But most of the times it's essentially you can just ask from within the company, like, I don't have work, please, you know, change my team or give me something to work on or let me experiment something. So yeah, it really depends. For example, I am in an enterprise company, and it's a slow paced work as well, and I have to work with Angular, and I know a lot of stuff already about Angular, but I still have a lot of things to learn, which is what I like about my current company. So it really depends. And there's a saying in Urdu, um, if you know, it's called "Dur ke dhol sohane," something like this. Or in English, I think we say the grass is always greener on the other side, which means that when you're working in a product-based company, you feel like the project-based company is better. When you go to the project-based company, you feel like the product-based company is better. So yes, there's also another saying in Urdu that says "Insan kisi hal mein khush nahi hai," which translates into English as a human is not happy in whatever situation they are in. So yeah, people like change. So it really depends. Um, I hope that answers the question, Zainamat. But try to find some work within your company. That's an honest advice about apart from the sarcasm, so to say. But try to find work within your company. But if you still feel like you are not able to find any opportunities and it's really making you stuck with your skill set and you're not going to grow, then just switch the company. But I wouldn't say just switch for the sake of money, or just because you're bored, because then you're going to get bored in the next company and in the next company, and after a few years, whenever you would apply to any company, they would already see your history and they would say, you switch very often, we can't really trust you to work with us for a long time. And then that becomes bad, unless you have a really strong reason for why you switch companies. Rahmatullah Bashir says, what do you think about future of web development? What should I learn first, front end or back end or full stack? Rahmatullah, really good question. It depends on what kind of person you are. If you are a person who really likes to see data and information, and you're not a visual person, you don't really like to see web applications or how they look, or like parallax scroll or good UI UX. If you're not that kind of person, then go with the backend, because you would find much more interest in like data, backend queries, databases, all of those things. You'll find them much more interesting. I was always a visual person, so I started with front end, and the good thing about front end is that you see the result quickly. You change something in your HTML and CSS and you see that the button becomes blue from red, and that's a really quick feedback, so that motivates you as a fresh learner. I think in general it's very easy for someone to get started with front end, but if you absolutely hate front end, and if you are a person who really is into data analytics, solving critical problems with algorithms, then I think backend is much more suited for you. That's what I think. I hope that helps. How many platforms are you streaming at the moment? Data Dev is asking. I'm streaming on I was about to say Angular. I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and I think on LinkedIn as well. Am I streaming on LinkedIn? Yes, I am streaming on LinkedIn. So four platforms. I used to stream on Twitter as well, or X, so to say, but they have become even more awesome by just saying you can only stream if you have the premium subscription. I don't have that, and I don't want that. ISS, in my company, we work in a websites and small applications. I want to have variety of knowledge about different projects. What do you, websites and small applications? Okay. What do you suggest I do? I mean, should I read a lot? And if yes, could you make recommendations for me? Yeah, I would say you can start looking into, for example, front-end architecture, micro front-ends. One of the things that my wife recently said, and that has stuck with me, is something from a conference where the motivational speaker or whoever was there said that leaders are readers and readers are leaders. So I stopped reading books completely after my university, and yeah, I lost a lot of years because of not learning from books. But I started, I think, a year ago to start reading again, and now I've developed a habit of at least trying to read as much as once a day. but sometimes it's like I skip 1 day or two, but then I continue reading as well, especially when I'm traveling. So, or commuting. So I would say just get a book about something that's new and you don't know about, so you can try with that. Another tip that I can give you is to build a lot of projects. For example, I have so many projects. Focus app, if I remember the name correctly. For example, this is an app that I built, right? I'm going to show you how this works. Ooh, I'm going to show off now. So I'm hoping that this still works, but let's see. So here you see that clock on the left side. If I try to switch this, does it change? No, it doesn't. Ooh, then I have to do something here. Share. I'm gonna try to copy this, and I'm gonna go to my clock, which should have been working, but it doesn't. Oh, it should be working, but refresh cache of the current page. Let's see. Let's see if this reloads now. Or it could also be the reason that my Firebase thingy has expired. Do we think that it has expired? Window.close call. No. Okay. Where is this? Okay, so this should be coming from Firebase. Okay, let's see if this still works. So break. Now you see this working, right? So this is a clock that I made for myself, but then also for streamers to show a clock on their streams as an overlay. And when I'm working, then everybody knows that I'm working. I'm focusing right now. My audience knows as well. And I could hide this completely. For example, this could go on another page. And then I can control it from there. So I could go on a break, just like this, start my break, or I could reset my break as well. Ding, you heard that as well. So yeah, those kind of things. There are still some bugs that I need to resolve, but the other thing I was trying to say is you can create a lot of projects and you'll learn a lot through those process. What else do I see here? For the books, I can recommend, there's something called Fundamentals of Software Architecture, a learning approach. This one with Richards and Mark, if I can find it. So this is a really good book. I can recommend this. That's a really long message. Can I delete it? It removed all of your messages. Sorry about that. DataDev says chat should sponsor the streamer with X Premium. Yeah, I think if the chat just starts sharing my stuff, that's more than enough. I can pay my streaming service myself. Just share the work. Can you disclose your company name? Of course. Scania, Sweden is the company name. Scania Group. Scania Sverige. I'll translate this to English. We are a company which builds a lot of trucks and transport vehicles. And my team at Scania essentially just manages all of the data that is required for us to operate, or Scania to operate. For example, a truck can have different heights and widths of their cabin. They could have multiple configurations, like, how many tires configuration should be here. So this is like one row, and then 3. So you could have 2 to 4, 1 to 4, whatever that sequence is. The configurations, the sort of parts, what buttons should we see on the dashboard. So those buttons, so all the data that's there is something that my team is responsible for. And we also have implemented a system which is used by the other company or other teams in Scania. So yeah, that's the company in Sweden. But this is, I think we also have branches in, I heard we started in India and Thailand as well. But I think right now we are operating in Sweden and we are also operating in China. Zen says, I've worked, but it's kind of redundant work. Like I already know about how I will implement it. But yes, not in focus to switch only for money. Already worked in a service base. Both have pros and cons, but I just wanted second advice from a senior. Thanks, I'll keep in mind. No problem at all. Happy to help. Animesh says, when Angular will properly support SSR, it will helpful for freelancing project. SSR is already there, brother. You can look into Angular SSR. So server-side rendering and hydration is something that Angular team has been working on for quite a while now. So here you can see this is angular.dev. Let's go there. So here you can see how to enable server-side rendering when you do ng-new SSR. You have the SSR enabled for you already. And this used to be something that we achieved before with Angular Universal, but it's now embedded within the Angular CLI. So you just do ng-new SSR, or if you have an already existing application, you can just do ng-add Angular SSR. Not only it does the server-side rendering, which happens when you try to request something, it renders it on the server and then sends it back. It also supports something called pre-rendering, which is generating the whole HTML files on the build time. So when you build the application, it just generates it once, and now you have the rendered HTML that can be served from your web application. So there's not much to do after that, if you understand what I mean. So I hope that answers the question. I've answered so many questions and I've not even coded a single line, but I'm enjoying it for now. Okay, so what I wanted to do actually is I wanted to work on the Angular Cookbook side that I'm currently working on. And this is what I'm working on right now. This is what I have right at the moment that's published. So this is what I have at the moment. I think it's very minimal what we have here. It's nice, but it's not something that looks like I'm selling it, to be honest. So I'm changing it to make it look like something like this. And I'm also looking into just updating this with practical examples. For example, the Angular Cookbook works with a bunch of things, including, for example, this is a recipe from the Angular Cookbook that if I say Ahsan, I can go here and now I can guess what value will be when the dice roll. 2. No, it's 5. Oops, try again. 5. Now it's 3. So one of those times it's going to be correct. And when that happens, I'm going to get some score. You rock, Ahsan. You got 50 points. Ooh. And then I can go ahead. And every time I win, it adds 50 to my score. So I've won 3 times so far. And then I can go back and play it again. So yeah, that's one of those things. But I'm gonna make this a bit better. And I also want to keep everything responsive as well. So when we look at this, we have this guy here, this here, this here, this here, and then I need to also update from the template that I'm following. That's one thing. Bubble sort in back. What? Was there some sort of bubble sort in the back? I don't know. Okay, anyways. So yeah, that's one thing. I also was looking into implementing something with Google Gemini and AI to make it possible for anyone who's coming here to ask a question about Angular and then look into if the book contains that information. And if yes, then which chapter of the book, and then which recipe. So which chapter, which recipe, and each recipe is essentially, for example, one is Angular CDK, drag and drop. So how to implement drag and drop, for example, if I can open it. For example, when the reader follows, what happened about this one? Okay, my changes are not done yet. So I'll see if I can fix that. Did I not commit the files or what happened? Let's see. So this one is correct. This one is correct. Drag and drop. Aha, okay. But maybe I did it on my laptop. I'm not really sure. I'll double check. But I could also go directly to the link from here. So let's say I go back to here. I can go to drag and drop. And this is the example of implementing drag and drop with Angular CDK. For example, I could drag this like this, leave it here. If I drop it here or here, you can see it goes back there, right? And then I can also go here, or I could move to different folders. For example, this, 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 and now you can see all of them are here and the personal doesn't have anything. So things like this. But maybe let's start with fixing the link. So this was the link, which is supposed to be this guy. And we can go ahead here and we can change this guy with this. So it opens it. I'm going to be right back. I think I've done this in my other laptop. But before that, I can take the question. I saw your binary search tree implementation is HTML.js, but how to implement by code? You show using dummy data. What do you mean? The binary thing that I had, you mean fun with JavaScript thingy? Fun with JavaScript. And that should have binary search tree. So this one, you can just clone the code, right? And then if you go to projects, binary search tree, and go to the JS here, you should be able to see that I have a test or a code that actually generates it somewhere. I think it should be in main.js. Yeah, here. So here you can see my tree. It says binary search tree, and then it uses tree data, my tree here. So create sample tree data. If I go here, sorry, where was the file? So create sample tree data is from common. So if I go up here and maybe source common, create sample tree data. So this is the tree data that I have that I'm creating. You can just go in here and just remove or change something to generate a different sort of binary tree. So I'm not really using dummy data, so to say, but this is being generated via a code, right? So when you do all of this, you can see that we are inserting 11, then 7, then 5, right? So at the top we have 11, then you add 7. So 7 is less than 11, so it goes here. Then 5, so it goes here. And then you have 3, 6, 9. So 5, 3, and then 5, 6, and then 9. So 9 is after 7, so it comes here, and then so on and so forth. So if you see the video, you will understand how binary search works essentially. But you can change the code right here. So clone this, change this file, and then you'll have a different tree. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna quickly go and see my kid, and then I'll be back, and then this second part, maybe yes. But anyways, so I'm gonna look at my kid because I think he's coughing. He's not well. Neither am I, but I think we'll be fine, inshallah. But I'll be back, and I also have my coffee right here, which is now cold. So yes, I'm gonna be right back. Be right back. Yes, I'm back. Anyway, says the first part of data there was dummy data. Okay. It might have been updated in the second one then. Much better. Okay. So let's jump into the code. For some reason, I think I updated the code, but it doesn't. It doesn't seem like it did update, or maybe I'm stupid. I don't really recall this updating it. Anyways, we can update the code. So this one has to always have target of blank. Then we can also go here and update the link here. So this should also be target blank. We also have route animations. The target is blank here. And then we also have this as blank as well. Good. So let's quickly then have a look at our link here. So we click this. Ooh, is our server dead? Yes, I think. That could also be the reason. Hmm. Am I running any containers or something? My account, username this. Is it not the verifying your account? Let's see if this works now. Okay, so log out, log in. The magic code. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Voice mode. There we go. And there we go. Good. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. For some reason it still does the same thing. Automatic redirection doesn't work. I'm gonna try to close and then open this again. Let's see if this works this time. If not, we're just gonna continue with the app. And my camera died. Animesh, yeah, I see your message. I recall. That's what I did in the first part of the video. On the second part, I think I implemented the correct or I think the first part was how things work with binary size tree and the examples, and the second part was actually how to do it ourselves with the UI. Download voice mode. Not really. And then we can also try to see right here. All right, cool. So what is next? One of the things that I wanted to do was to implement something that I can deploy for my Angular Cookbook. So what I'm going to do here is, I think I already did that, but I want to start with Llama index and using create llama. So let's start with this guy. So we're gonna start with this right here. And what do we name it? Let's see. Yeah, use the latest one. NG Cookbook assistant. We're gonna do chat with docs. Which framework would we like to use? Do we want to use Next.js? Do we want to use Express? I wanted to just use Python in that case, but then I would have to code the front end myself in that case. I could also use the structured data, to be honest, using drag, but let's see. What if we go with Fast API Python? But before that, I also want to look into railway.app Python. Deploy Flask on Railway. So we can apply with Flask. Can we also do all templates? Fast API. Okay, so we do have Fast API that we can deploy. Nice. Good. Okay, so I think we should be good. So I'm looking into if I should just create the backend, because I already have a front end. Sorry, and we can implement the rest of the things with. But if I choose to have Next.js, I could also just go ahead with the I'm thinking implementing the same thing on the front end. Then let's go with Next.js and Python. So we're gonna go with Next.js. Observability, no. I will leave it blank for now. Using an example PDF, you can add your own data files later. I'm gonna use example PDF for now. Would you like to add another data? It's interesting that this doesn't show any option here and at the moment. On MacBook it does, I think. No. Now for the data store, do I want this to be just on the file system? I think yes. I don't think we need to make it more complicated. So we can just do file system. Wikipedia, weather, document generator, no. Code interpreter, nah. OpenAPI action. Action, maybe, maybe not. No, I'm just gonna go with the normal one, and we can just do this one. Well, when we did the Next.js one, it did not select Python. That's interesting. Okay, I know why. I know why. I should have gone with the Python one. So let's do ls rm rf. We need to go with the ng cookbook assistant. Then I'm gonna do the same thing again. ng cookbook assistant. we're gonna do rag. Do we want to use rag really, or do we want to use, I'm thinking now. When I did rag, it actually worked pretty nicely. But then when I deploy this, would I have to then also, I'm thinking now, structured extractor could be also interesting. Let's see. Blank, file system. But did I select? Ah, because when we do rag, then it asks the question, maybe. Let's try this again. NG Cookbook Assistant. Agentic rag. Now it asks, okay. So with just a structure one, it only uses the, interesting. Interesting. Let's have a look at the structured one. So I want to look into LLamaIndex structured output. I know the structured outputs from Gemini, they're pretty nicely formatted, but I'm interested in what, when we talk about query engines, usage patterns, streaming, because I also want to look into the documents that come with that. So here we are using OpenAI, GPT-4, blah, 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 text embedding. When we embed it, can we do the directory embedder or something like that? So we have data model for the song. Okay, that makes sense. This is actually what I think Adam did for our hackathon. Input message, blah, blah, blah. And then it returns the output. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so here is what I'm interested in. So make the IR data, then it gets some sort of file, right? Then it uses llama parse. Okay. Interesting. Okay. This is what I'm more interested in. So then it does this. Okay, so let's do this. I think we can go ahead with the structured query. So let's try to do this. And I'm gonna fail quite a lot in this one, but we'll see how this goes at the end. So fast API Python is what we want to use with agentic. But we talked about structured output as well, right? And then should we have, I'm thinking now, should we experiment with something that I don't know that is structured output? Or should we go with the rag using documents? One of the things that we could do is just use rag and then provide this with documents that contain the links to those. So let's go with this. We'll see what happens. So would you like to generate Next.js front end your application? Yes, I would. No. use an example PDF, use website content, requires Chrome. I could use my website content as well. Interesting. I did not see that one before, but interesting. Viresh Patel, hey, how's it going? And your Angular crash course is enough, no need to refer your Angular crash course is enough, no need to refer. Are you completed everything on Angular crash course? The Angular crash course is for you to get started with the core, the absolute core concepts of Angular. If you don't know those, you cannot work with Angular, or you can't do much with Angular, so to say. So all the core concepts are there: signals, directives, pipes, services, all of those concepts that will help you in any other tutorial that you will work with are covered in the crash course. So you can start with that. And I hope that helps you then. Waiting for Vue.js and React.js crash course. I can work on the React.js one for sure. Would you like another data source? Should I go with the website content? I don't think so. I don't have much in the website if I remember correctly. No, I don't think so. So let's do no, just the file system, nothing from here. Poetry is not available in the environment, please check. Yes, I don't have poetry installation. That is actually correct. Did it open here? So we have pipex, we have other things as well. Windows, okay. Poetry should always be installed in a dedicated virtual environment, isolated from the rest of your system. It should, no case means a project that is to be managed by Poetry. Okay, interesting. Pipex is used to install pipex. Okay, so we need pipex. Interesting. Windows. Install via scoop. So I need pipex for that, and then for that I need scoop. Okay, interesting. Or what is going on here? Usman Ahmed says, need opportunity like projects or opportunity for Angular developer having 5 years experience on front end. Okay, thank you, Usman, for sharing. But if you can do a post on LinkedIn and then send me a message, I can probably repost that. Have you covered entire whole Angular concepts in that video? Viresh Patel, if you really think that anyone can cover the whole entire Angular in a video, then I think you need some time to think. When it comes to Angular future demand, there are a lot of opportunities for Angular. I've been working with Angular for 11 years, and I often see a lot of opportunities, and I'm reached out by others. Farooq Sajjad, I'm facing issue in the start time of React Vite application taking too much time in larger project. There could be a lot of things. There could be your hard drive being almost full. There could be your PC that's not really fast. It could also be that you have a lot of node modules installed. You need a cleanup maybe. So it's really hard to say. Just by what you've said, it's really hard to guess what's happening. If that makes sense. Okay, so let's try this. I'm gonna open this and see. Do we want to do this in the WSL environment? I think yes. Or maybe we want to do this in the Windows one. If I open terminal, let's see if I have a scoop there. Scoop is not recognized, right? Let's try to do this in Linux then. And I think I have Python installed here. So if I do py Python, so we do have Python here, right? Exit. Installation. So let's do on Linux. We have this guy, sudo apt update. This is gonna install that. Install pipx. Expect Google Cloud from you. What are you asking? Try to be a bit more clear in what you're asking. I'm not really sure I understand. Do you mean, are you going to expect any cloud tutorials from you or from me, or what are you asking? Pipx ensure path. Okay. Interesting. Okay. In ZSH, would I have to then open ZSH? Is it bash rc? I only have bash rc there. Bash. So then I just need to do this. Register Python complete, argument not found. Oh, oops. Let's open this again. Not found. Bash rc. Let's put this in here. Let's try to open another one. Command not found. So register Python autocomplete not found. Interesting. Very interesting. But here it said add the appropriate command to your shell's config file. Okay, but we'll see. Then I can go ahead and what is my Linux's version? We'll see. Unrecognized command global. Okay, we'll see. Now that we have this, we can install, or we should have installed this already. Now we can go and say pipx install poetry. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, these are now available. So that means I can now run my commands. And which one was this one, right? So I can just duplicate this. And I need to fix my bash rc now. Vim bash rc. All right, so we go here, close this guy, and then we can start with a new tab. Go to personal, and then we had what exactly? Cookbook assistant. Now we are gonna do again npx create llama. Let's make this quick this time. Ng cookbook assistant. We're gonna go with structured extractor. This no. Oh no, we actually went for the other one. Sorry. So ng cookbook assistant, agentic reg, fast API, yes, no, space, example PDF, yes, no, Generate code and install dependencies. Poetry was unable to find the compatible version. If you have one, so the currently activity Python is 3.10.12 is not supported by the project, which wants 3. Blah blah blah. Trying to find a usable. Okay. Okay. So we need to install the latest Python then. Install Python Linux. Send a message on LinkedIn, bro. Please check and consider is it as help. Usman Arshad. Yeah, I'll do it when I get the time. Thank you. So we have Python 3. But where can I install it from the actual here? Linux. Linux. Shouldn't I be installing it via something else? Can I install it some easier way? Scalar. Something sudo aptp. Python 3 is 3.2, right? Then we can do this one. Which version? Not upgraded. But which version was here? Which version here that we just saw? Was it 3.13.0, right? So we do Python 3.13.0. Couldn't find it. Okay. Can I just do 3.13? No. 3.12? No. What is wrong with you? How can I install the right? I don't want to install from the source code. 11? 11 is available. Okay. And 11 should work with our project as well. Okay. ls. Ng Cookbook, Assistant, Agentic Rag, Fast API, yes, no. Example PDF, no, no. File system, go ahead. Let's see. There we go. I hope this works now. Okay, so the Python thingy looks like it's good. We'd probably have to change the Gemini thingy. So we'll see if the Gemini API key can be fixed, and then we should be able to proceed forward. But then would I have to install Cursor on the subsystem as well? Let's see, Cursor, download for free, Linux, Cursor, yeah, Linux. Is it too difficult to do that people had to create articles for this? This is insane. Interesting. There was an article from 2024 as well, right? What if I can't download it from there? Because I don't have, yeah. Okay, we'll just open that in the VS Code. So ng cookbook assistant. Cursor help. Interesting. Is it gonna open that in here? Okay. Ng cookbook assistant. Okay, so that works. Good. But I think the WSL should only work in. I want to look into the dev container thingy. I have no clue what that means. Developing inside the container full. Visual Studio Code Dev Containers extension let you container as a full feature environment. It allows you to open any folder inside or mount into container. Take advantage of. Okay, interesting. Okay, we should have Docker running. Okay, want to try it? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how good this is. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna stack my containers quite a lot. All of them are stocked. Good. 8.26 of RAM is being utilized. CPU 23%. Sort of good. But does it run online or what? I think this should be working in local. So we have. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I've already done this part as well. Let's see if this doesn't work. We're gonna give up and then continue with VS Code. So what is it doing right now? 8 out of 17. Okay. Okay, I'm hoping this happens just once and we don't have to do this again. We'll see. We'll also monitor how much time it actually takes to run this, and then the resources that it's trying to also stack up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back while this happens. Okay, sorry, I had some stuff to take care of. Okay, so yeah, our packages are now installed. We're good to go. Press any key to close the terminal. Good, good, good. So one of the terminal is running good. So we have the dev container running for us. Let's have a look at the dev container itself. So what does it run? Language features, blah, blah, blah. And then the npm install everything. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the front end and the back end. So first of all, we need to go to the back end. So we'll go to back end, and here we need to do poetry, I think poetry run app. And I think there's main.py. Sorry, app. What is the name? Oh, so not even app. It's just main.py. So poetry run main.py. Command not found main.py. Then I don't have any clue what's happening. So let's see. This is LLamaIndex, blah, 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 blah. For the backend, go to backend readme. There we go. So we should do poetry install. I think that's already done. This step is not needed if using poetry dev container. Good. Then we should have poetry run generate. Let's see. Oh, Python main.py. As you know, I'm an absolute Python noob, so I don't really want any credibility there. Good, good, good. Okay, so it's now trying to do the embedding thing, but since it doesn't have my OpenAI API, it wouldn't work. What we should be doing instead is using Gemini. So let's go with OpenAI and see how many things we are using from that. Or maybe I could just use my OpenAI key. Let's see. What was the platform called? I think it's platform.open.ai. Platform.openai, something like that, right? So let's have a look. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the key. And give me 1 second. I need to log in with my account. This and that. And then I should be able to find settings, I think. And then we should have, where's the API key? Project, is it project? No. Project ID, no. General, integrations, billing, reject all. Where's my API key? Okay, now I need to see. There we go. So it's here, created, and I can't really copy it, right? I created one for LLamaIndex. I'm gonna create a new secret key. I'm gonna call it Llama. What is it called? Llama Cookbook, and then we can create it. Give me 1 second. And I'm gonna copy this guy. And we can quickly see that we should have one for Llama Cookbook. I see Avi mentioned Git Cheat Sheet, but did you see a response? No, right? Something is wrong. Git dash cheat sheet. What if I try it? Git Cheat Sheet. If I try it, it does it. Interesting. Interesting. But shouldn't it be... Is it only I who can run these commands? That's super weird. Because I think this should be allowed for everyone. Interesting. Interesting. Anyways. Okay, so let's quickly go to our Python environment, and then we're gonna add that here. So there should be an env file which is on the front end, but then we should also have a Python environment as well. I'm gonna close this now. We are here. We should have an env file right here, and here we should also have the open API key. So this is what we want to have. So I'm gonna paste it here, and let's see. I don't know where this is actually getting these from, but definitely not the key. So I'm gonna save this guy, copy this guy, and we are good to go, I think. So now if I run poetry run generate, this should be able to create the embeddings now. Too many requests. What? I just did one. Come on. No, that's not good. Should have created it. Okay, we're gonna probably wait a while and see if that works out fine. So I need to run python main python main.py. This should start the server, I think. But I don't think this is gonna bring us anything. But I now also want to run the front end. So cd front end npm run dev browser. Now we should have the API, or we should have the app running. It's compiling. I do want to see, first of all, the data should contain the file, which is this PDF, physical standards, and it should be able to find things from this file. So let's say if I say, and here I'm showing you what you can build with LlamaIndex and AI to retrieve information from a document that you have within your system. So for example, if I ask it something like, for malleability, all pieces, 1/4 inch thick or less must be minimum of 5 inches in length. So if we say parcels with this thickness or less, what should be the length? For example, that can be a question. So if I go here and say parcels of this thick or less, or what should be the minimal length of this, right? If I send this message, first of all, let's see if this works with OpenAI. Empty call, poultry run generate. So it doesn't generate anything at all because of the OpenAI call, or because of the issue that we had. So let's try to generate first. So we can run npm, or sorry, poetry run generate. Hopefully this time the API call works. Too many requests. Why does it say too many requests? I think there's either some other problem or the API key doesn't work. So give me 1 second if I can fix with the API key. So if I go to my API keys, last use never, it should be said last use on this. Yes. As another, but if I go to the usages, I don't know. It's probably something wrong with the OpenAI key or something else. Should I create another one? Maybe I can create another one. Service account, no. So llama, and my camera died as well. NG Cookbook 2. I'm gonna create it in the default project. I'm gonna select the secret key, copy this, read and I write API resources. I'm gonna go to my .env file. Gonna go to .env file on the back end, and I'm gonna replace this guy with this. And I can select this. Okay, select this, and I think we should be good to go, but let's see. So if I now come here, try to run poetry run generate, let's see if this works. I'm gonna replace my camera's battery. No, it says too many requests for some reason. I have no clue why. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to try to delete all my API keys just in case any of my API keys are being used for now. And I'm gonna create a new one. So I can say something like llama ng cookbook, and nobody else should be using this at the moment. So if I create this, copy this, make this done, and if I go to my .env, replace this guy, close this, copy this, and then unblur it. Let's see what happens. Nope. 429, too many requests. Okay, I need to now search this. So let's see if I can say llama index open AI 429, too many requests. Is it llama index? Yeah, here. Exactly, that's the thing. Okay, I can try this and see. It's my lack of attention about refresh on the OpenAI account which caused an API key to I was using to be inactive. I think what could have happened is that my OpenAI account payment did not go through, and that's why that's the case. So let me try to fix that. I'm gonna try to fix my OpenAI account because one of my cards were changed. I think that's why it could be that it could not get my OpenAI account to bill it, if you understand what I mean. So my profile, billing, and aha, okay, payment methods. Exactly, I had my old payment methods, so I have to update that one. Do I now remember my card? Let's see. uh, uh, no, I don't remember it. The last one, I don't remember. Oh, maybe I do. I've tried something else. No, I don't remember. I'm gonna bring my card. There we go. Now I have my card with me. And now I can put my details in. Okay. And then we have, so that seems okay. There we go. Stockholm. There we go. And set as default payment method. I think because my payment method got declined, that could be the case. No thanks. Thank you. Don't save this. And now I can do I do a preferences? I think it was pay as you go. But did I use the package at all? So past October, nothing. September. In September I had $1 of usage. In August I had 0. What happened in September? Just on 27 September I got a lot. I think that was when I was trying to use the embedding. I think that could be it. But let's see. I think that could be the case. But now can I try it again? Maybe. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can run cursor and try this again. Too many requests? No, it doesn't allow me. So still some problem with the docs. I'm gonna now try to update the billing. So add to credit balance. $10. $10 is 100 Swedish crowns. Yeah, do it. Okay. Okay, so we got that out of the table. So let's see if I can go there, and now I can try this again. So if I go to my app, try this again. Let's see if this works this time. I think it would work. Yay! This time it works. So just about my billing issues. So now that it has worked, let's run the Python one. Python main y. And we should be able to now get it forward. Let's see. Okay, so we go here, and now we can ask the same thing, which we saw in the PDF. We saw something here, right? It was this. So here we can ask for parcels having 1.5 thickness or less, what is the minimum length? If we do this, it should generate for parcels that are 1.5 thick or less, the minimum length must be 5 inches. Yay! Additionally, the minimum height is this. And it also tells us that this is taking this from 101 PDF and from page 3. Just like this. And it also can open it. Well, we don't really want to provide all of this in our Angular application. So we will be We will be using something else, but we'll use something similar as well. So now what I want to do is to use my Angular Cookbook to make this whole experience available for it. Okay, so let's try to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually move this 101 PDF out from here, and then I'm gonna stop the Python server, and then I'm gonna copy the PDF file to here. So let's see if I can find the cookbook. Angular Cookbook second edition. There we go. We paste it inside here. So we paste it inside here, and now we're gonna generate the, there we go, Angular Cookbook second edition, and all of this is available here. So this is gonna now run the embeddings for this, and this only happens once, so I don't need to regenerate it because I'm not really updating the book unless there's a new version coming in. So now that it has run, we should have the, oh, but I've run the Python one. No, I need to run the poetry run generate. So now this is gonna run the generate one, and I think I already want to see, you know, how much time it's gonna take for this to work, but how much billing does this consume with me? So if I see the usage just for this embedding that I've done so far, it has used embedding models, but it's less than $0.01. So that's not too bad, I think. Maybe the one that I just did may increase this a bit, or we'll see. So now it has generated the embeddings for the Angular Cookbook. If I look at the data, not the data actually, but the, I think it's in storage. So here we have the vector store and the doc store. So all the information is here generated by LLamaIndex. So now that I have this, I'm going to actually start using it in my front-end application. So let's run the Python server. And now I want to go and now I don't even need the embeddings, to be honest, because we already have this, but the storage is not. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe what we'll do is we'll also run the storage, or save the storage, or mark it as enabled for Git to store. We'll see. So for example, now if I go to my app, it's gonna start answering questions about Angular Cookbook. So let's see how to implement route animations in Angular. So if I ask this, it is still gonna use AI, but here you can see that the code that is actually generating, it's from the Angular Cookbook, which is wild. Super interesting. So I'm gonna let it generate, and then we can also see the usage here as well. So here now you see the monthly expenditure is also here. So about $0.02. And here we have this as well. Interesting. So now here you can see that we have implement route animation in Angular. You can follow these steps based on the information provided in the Angular Cookbook. So we create an animation trigger, and all of this is being generated by ChatGPT, or GPT-4o mini, if I remember it correctly. And this code is exactly from the cookbook. Next, you import the route animation in your main component, just like this, right? And then you also create a method called getRouteAnimationState that retrieves the current route data and transition state, which is used to control animation. Finally, you need to apply animation in your components template, typically app component HTML, just like this. Really nice. And this could bind the animation trigger to the outlet. Good. Following these steps, you can successfully implement route animations for your Angular application. Nice. I really like it, right? And if I click this, this also shows which page am I getting it from. So on page 157 is where I have actually done it. And this opens this book as well. And I can go to 157. And there we go. You can see the exact code right here. And then if I click this one, so this one is understanding Angular animations. But here we also import route animation. So 155 and 157 are two references that we've got in here. And I can also ask the suggested questions as well. So what are some common issues? Can you explain how to customize animation duration and easing functions? Are there any performance consideration? What should I keep in mind when animating in Angular? So if I click this, it's gonna try to suggest from its own knowledge base, which is GPT, but then also some interesting outputs as well. So I like this. What I don't like is the cost at the moment. So from 0.01, we went to 0.02. I think the embedding model that we used, that's gonna probably cost a bit more than the usage itself. If I do activity, so we did a bunch of API calls, right? So these were 8 requests that we have done so far. And this is text embedding 3 large. Now, if I don't really generate those embeddings anymore, I think it's going to be still cheaper. But we are going to deploy this and we are going to also try this out in that particular case. Okay. So let's see. What I want to do now is to use this, but in my application and not in Next.js. So that's gonna be interesting, and I think a hell lot of a job, but still I think we should be good. And we also need to look into how to actually deploy this as well at the end. So for the backend, do we have a Docker file? Yes, we do. Okay, so this is gonna just get everything and then publish it. Yes, install it. Thank you. Okay. So if I go to my files, I want to see the implementation in the app. So we got config, tools.json. Okay, interesting. So we got page TSX, markdown CSS for any code that is generated. Then we got layout. Then we got observability. We don't have that component. So we got UI, collapsible, observability here. We got header.tsx, which just has the logo. We have chat section. And here we do have hooks like client config, use client config, and then we can do all the things with request data as well. I'm really interested in looking at how this goes with the, I'm thinking now. I'm interested in knowing how this goes with, now that I've deleted the data, or now I have it actually. So I don't want to show the PDF because that's that's not what we want. I do want to show the embeddings. That is important. But if I delete the file, it should automatically be working as well. So I'm going to change the name here. I'm going to restart the server, npm run dev, and I'm also going to run Python again. I do want to see if everything works still fine. And I also want to see if there is a generate command that runs anywhere. Match the whole world. Okay. So it runs generate data source. Okay. Okay. Good. Let's try the app again. So here I'm gonna ask something like, let's try to refresh this. We're gonna ask if there's a particular topic that the Angular app or the Angular Cookbook has or not. Harsha iPhone 6s. Hey, how's it going, Harsh? So the app, is it running? Compiled? Good. Sure. Ask away. What's your question? Does the Angular Cookbook talk have anything about NGRX? So let's ask this and we'll see the answer. Yes, the Angular Cookbook covers NGRX extensively. In the chapter on reactive state management with NGRX, you'll learn how to manage your app state reactively using NGRX ecosystem. And then we do have all of these things, right? As you can see. Good. And it also gives the sources. So we have on page 198. And we also have here page 203 that talks about NGRX. Fail to load PDF. Okay, that's good because we don't have the PDF anymore. Good. I'm doing good as well. You're saying I'm a business analyst. Yes. And what's your question? I also want to see something. Poll.new. Have they? I think I'm asking for too much, but can you create an app with Angular? Yes, no. Okay, so it does it. Interesting. 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 Okay, I want to go back actually, and I want to run I'll add something. I'm planning to build a web applications for students, which will help students find all the necessary information, which helps them with the study materials, college findings, and much more. Okay, good. I don't see Angular here. We see TypeScript, we see Astro, Vue, Svelte, but yeah, we can talk about that. Okay, I want an Angular app that uses Llama indexes TS package to talk to my Python based API. Okay. API that returns information, and I want to see the what is the information that comes back from and how it comes back from the backend. So here, if we just say does it talk about signals anywhere? So if I send a message, so we have the chat that does a fetch, right? So no preview available. So we did get a bunch of things. So we did a pre-flight, we did a fetch, and then this is what we sent to the backend. Nice. So we did get, yes, Angular Cookbook discusses signals in detail. Signals are introduced as powerful addition to Angular ecosystem, blah, blah, blah. And the cookbook includes a recipe that demonstrates how to create a mini task manager application using Angular signals. This is brilliant. This is nice. I'm planning to build a web application for students, which will help students to find the necessary. Yeah, I've read that one. I'm not a programmer, but I do understand coding. Okay. I'm waiting for your question. Recently, I've started doing some research on the same. I've developed a basic portal and it's working as expected for now. Yes. And your question is? It should use streaming to show the response as it retrieves. It can be similar to the create llama next.js apps UI, which which sends information, which sends the input, retrieves the output from the fast API, Python via streaming, shows the output as it comes, and then shows 3 suggestions for follow-up questions for the user, right? User. The code, the Angular app should use Tailwind CSS for creating the chat UI. Let's also make it so that there a chat button on the page loading, and when we click it, a modal pops up that has the chat UI. You can use the Angular CDK for showing the modal. Is that good enough? I think that's good enough. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything that is supposed to be from the app? No. Yeah, should also have a button to regenerate it. Should also have a button with each questions response to regenerate it. I think that's good enough. Let's see. So you're saying currently I'm using AI for all my development. Should I continue or hire a developer? For now, I've achieved front-end and back-end APIs for login, registration, student analytics, and other basic components. I think, to be honest, to save money, you could just continue working yourself. But what I've learned recently from a couple of months is that people who become successful are those who think not about how to do something, but who's gonna do this for me. So I would encourage you that if you can afford to hire someone, just do that and delegate this so you can focus on more important things, I would say. And it doesn't take your energy as much as, yeah, it should. And if you're interested in hiring developers and you don't know who to hire, you can just reach out to me on LinkedIn and we can talk about this. So for the context, I already have my app or the site, which is this one, and I want a chat interface for this, so I can talk to my backend and receive the same information. So I can ask about things from the Angular Cookbook without actually bringing the code from the Angular Cookbook, because that's not what we want to do, or the steps, but general information, so to say. Okay, so we have a chat service, we have global styles, we're using LLamaIndex, Tailwind CSX. Oh, sorry, Tailwind CSS. I think that the app would not work if I have any of the extensions installed that interfere with it. So I had Angular, the Redux DevTools, Angular DevTools, all of them basically mess things up. So I'm gonna actually remove this for now. I'm not really using Redux at the moment. And you will see that we will not see any output at all if we have these extensions. So if I go to console, you're gonna keep seeing this thing here. But let's see. So should I refresh? Let's see. Oh, it's right now doing npm install, so it wouldn't work anyways. Let's. Oh, we have some errors. Could not resolve Tailwind CSS utilities. What are you talking about? Okay. That's not the one. Utilities. It's actually this, what we want to do. Do you have old information, my friend? Or are you on something? Okay, so we do have some errors in chat model component. Yes, let's have a look. By the way, I created a video on this tool, and yeah, I saw a lot of people saying, no, this doesn't work. But essentially, it may work to an extent. I'm not really sure how cool compared to this cursor is, but I think if there are things that you can fix and it can work in just by fixing a few lines, then I think that should be done, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can find this. So chat modal is this one, right? And here it says somewhere that string is not assignable to type never. Bot message dot suggestions. Bot message. Can I try to find it everywhere? Bot message. Next. There we go. So this one. Aha. I'm gonna put any for now. Forgive me for this. Thank you. And let's go and see the preview. I'm pretty sure this is gonna start crying because we probably don't have any backend to work with, but I still expect it to have something for me, if you understand what I mean. So we can start probably looking into this and see. We have a chat service that talks to localhost 8000/chat. Update with your Python API URL. I'm going to copy these actually. So let's go to our app. We're going to go and have our services. Do we have any services? No, we don't. So services. And we can here say chat service.ts. We're going to come and import this here. And I think it's 8000, localhost 8000/chat, if I remember correctly. Network. If we just do regenerate, this should go actually to chat, right? So this is localhost 8000 API chat. Is that the same? No, it's API/chat. What do we send here as a payload? So we send messages, and then we have ID, user. Where do we get the annotations from? So we sent the first one. Then we got this guy. Okay, so I'm gonna add this as well to the code so it knows that I'm gonna try to do this. So here is my chat. The backend API URL is localhost 8000 API/chat. The sample app of LLamaIndex seems to send this payload to the API. And this is after 2 questions. And the response of the first. Okay, so it's gonna probably try to update the chat with this. But I also want to go and have the chat component and chat modal component. So here we do have all of this, but here we have the chat, right? So if I click this, we have the chat here. howdy, and hit send. Sorry, an error occurred. Regenerate. Right, so it does what I ask it to do, at least. So, and where is this? So we import the chat component and we just, okay, render it. That's the main app. Okay, this is indeed a standalone application, so that's good. But the rest of it, I'm gonna just try to set this up, and we'll see if we need more improvements there. So chat.component.ts. Is it this one? Was it chat component? Yeah. So I can actually go and fix that. Angular CDK is not installed, I think. So npm install. Am I using npm? Angular CDK. So let's install that. And I also then have the chat module component. So I'm going to copy this guy. And then go here and create a chat module.component.ts. Paste this guy here. And import this. This file looks good. Chat component. Okay, now what I want to do is to okay, why does this not work? So we have Angular Common 17.3. We found this from the root of the project. I think that's because we have not the latest Angular in this case. Yeah, we don't. Okay. Should we also upgrade our Angular version now? Seems like too many things happening. Update.angular.io 17.0 to 18.0. I use Windows. Show me how to update. So let's run this. I'm gonna do a quick save on all of this. So git add, git commit, or I could just do git stash for now and install this. So we have this, and we'll also update the TypeScript version if required. So let's see. I hope this works fine. Once we are done with this, we are going to quickly look into installing the Angular CDK to match everything with the latest. And then we'll try to make the API calls from our front end. And then we'll see if what this created, the bolt.new thingy, if that works fine. So we'll see. Installing the packages. Nice. Thank you. In the meantime, I also want to see, has this increased? Tokens. Interesting. 12 requests. Okay. Cost. Has it reached 0.03 yet? No. Just the 0.02. Interesting. But I do intend to change that from OpenAI to Gemini, and we'll see if that works, because then I want to just deploy this and host this as well. Toot. Okay, this is gonna take some time. I'm gonna remove my headphones now. Too slow. Is there anything else that I am missing? So the chat service, this doesn't do anything at all with the LLamaIndex, which I think is fine because the front end I think doesn't need to do a lot of things with that. If I look at the code from the assistant right here, I think a lot of those things in the chat section, this is using client config. But if I go to that, so we got text area, upload image preview. Are we also able to upload pictures here? That I did not see. Oh, look at this. So we could actually upload images as well. That's gonna be nice. Okay, select all the migrations that you like to run. Space. Migration completed. Nice. Good. So we are good now. Now I can run npm install angular cdk. And now it's still saying 17. Found this. I think this is because of Angular Fire. Okay. So npm or ng update. I think if I do this, it should show Angular Fire to me. Let's see. Yeah. So now we can just run this and we can just update this. Aha. Okay. Git add, git commit, work in progress, update to v18. And now we can update Angular Fire. It needs to clean the node modules directory. Interesting. That's why it takes a lot of time. Yeah, the node modules folder was just gone. Interesting, but why? No idea. Okay, we'll see. Good. Now we are good, I think. Stash pop. Now we have all of our files. If I close all of them, I actually want, okay, so let's see. Chat component, chat service. So this one can be saved. This one also should be saved. This one should be saved as well. Now I'm going to close all of them, reload, and try to open this. Oh, I still need to install the Angular CDK. So let's see. Good, finally. And now this should be fine. There we go. So npm start. What is this? Argument of type environment provider is not assignable to type import provider source. Is that now because of the, I think now it's going to be because of the Angular Fire. So let's see. So import providers from, and then we do, okay, so now I need to fix the Angular Fire. Angular Fire. What have you changed? So we got providers, provide Firebase app, initialize app, provide Firestore, get Firestore. And we are doing something like provide analytics, get analytics. But shouldn't we do, okay, so we should be, okay. So we should be just able to do this, right? And this should work. Awesome. And this, and this, great. Let's save this. And now I can close this. And now we can go to our app, save. I think we do need some CSS as well. And that was right here. I'm going to send this, by the way. And I also wanted to see the global styles, but there are no styles. Good. Let's have a look at the app itself. Window is not defined. Of course, it's not. Window. Where is window being used? Behaviors directive. Aha, okay. So instead of that, we could probably do this. No, we have document equals inject document. And now I have to import both of them. And that, and then this. And now I should be able to do window instead of this. And do we also have window somewhere else? Let's save this for now. I want to see, so document is not, yeah. So this should be this dot document jump. So we are adding the function right here, which should be actually a const scroll and this and this. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So we go there. Have you missed anything? This dot document, this dot document, this dot document, this dot. Thank you. Change theme. Let's see. Do we still have some issue? Window is not defined. This dot document. Document is not defined. This dot document. Document is not defined. But we would also have to change this as well to an arrow function if we really want to fix that. Yeah. And what about now? JARLX is not defined. This is going to be interesting. So I need to define this here. How can we go with JARLX now? That's going to be an interesting one. So here it's trying to say this is not defined. But I have defined this, right? We are using declare var, or should I be using that in types file? Okay, let's fix that by asking this guy. We are getting despite defining declare var lex any in the directive.ts file. Is it because not in a types.d.ts file? If yes, do that. Cool. Makes sense. So we can then go ahead and do it. So we got types.d.ts, and here we should be able to define declare var lex any. Then we go to our tsconfig.json, and then we should add here where do we have the include? Is it in the app.json? I think this. Here we also need this, or actually it's already here, so we don't really need to do that. I think we should be good. So jarlex is not defined. Let's see. If it still gives the error, then we have a problem. We'll see. Okay, so this is now fine. Oh no, it's not fine. Am I missing something? Is it happening on the server side, or I think this is happening on the server side. I think this is happening on the server side. So it could be because of the server side. Okay, so let's actually remove this. And we do have yeah, relax in window. Then we do that. I think that should also be. Oh, my camera died again. I think that could be the case. And now it says window is not defined. Global this. Okay, let's see. So now if I go to my app, refresh, where's the chat button? Because I have not used the chat component yet. So if I go to landing personal, here I can say at the end, we do have the chat. So we have app, chat. What that means, I should be able to have the chat here, chat component. And yes, there we go. And now where's my button? Is it called app chat? Right, so this is app chat. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Chat. Or is my server running still? Yeah, this is. Photography not found, that's fine. Now I want to say no, chat.component.ts. So this should have been there. If I run this and this. Nay. Why is chat I don't understand. So we have okay, this was not saved. Interesting. There we go. We have the chat component here now. If I click this, nothing really happens. I want to see what happens when I click this guy. So it comes here, comes here, comes here, goes there, attach the portal, but then nothing happens. So we should have a chat modal component, right? So we have app chat modal, which we use here, and this should be having the user input, messages, this and that, send a message, generate suggestions, scroll to bottom, stuff like that. So when I click this, nothing happens. So the chat modal component is at least created, I think. Then what we have here is not shown for some weird reason. Why is that the case? Is it because of some missing styles? I think we probably need some styles. So code, chat, chat component, chat service, global styles. I don't really see any styles here, which sort of bothers me a bit. But I now want to see app chat. So we do have the modal right here, right? We don't have the CDK stuff here. So let's bring that from the Angular Cookbook. So GitHub packed Angular Cookbook, and we should have CodewithAhsan, packages, ng. Is it ng Cookbook recipe? No, I think it was in the library. So in the library, we should have source, styles, globals. Maybe we should have something for CDK, I think. We don't? Interesting. Interesting. Why don't we have this? Aha. Okay. Interesting. Let's open this then. What is the CDK thingy called? CDK overlay container. That's what I want to find. So this. There we go. We have specifically them in some specific files, not everything. Okay, that makes sense. And is it? No, I think it's still here. So we go into our styles and we go into our cdk.scss and then we paste this nice little style here. Oops, what happened to this guy? Overlay backdrop. What did I miss? I missed the whole thing right here, and actually a lot of this. So till here. There we go. And then we can import that right here. Yep. Let's save this. And now we should look into our CSS. So now if I open this guy, there we go. Hello. Sorry, an error occurred. Why is the text like that? Chat component. I think it's chat modal component. So we have, where's the input? Here we have it. This should have text primary. No. Text slate or text black, so to say. Hello. Send it. Let's have a look at what happens with the API. So when I say regenerate, it comes here, adds it, and then it should send an API call, process text error. So it goes there and it says for 2020 unprocessable entity. Interesting. What did I send to the backend? Payload message hello. Okay, that's probably why what the reason is. So let's see if the changes that we wanted are incorporated. So we did update chat service, right? So let's update this. So we're gonna add this to our chat service. Services, chat service. Okay. Then we have the chat component. Whoops. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted again. And then we have the chat. Was it chat component? Yeah, chat component. Did we miss anything here? What did we miss? So we got overlay container here. We have chat service here that we don't really use. What is the problem here? Quick fix, fix with AI. Control, enter, accept. Interesting. We'll see. We'll actually see. But didn't we fix it already? No, but we did, no? So here we have overlay ref. But I think this should be fine. Then we have chat modal component. Let's get that. But I also want to change the color of the input. So here we should have a text black. And now I want to see if everything compiles or we have issues. Or we do have issues. So here it says generate suggestions is private and accessible within the class chat modal component. Okay. Are we using that somewhere or what? I'm confused. So here we should have this here. Chat modal component TS. Chat modal component TS. Now we come here and there is a template, and then also we have line 29, which says here. Okay. Generate suggestions. Okay, so why do we have this as private? Um, okay, so when I click this, and now if I say this Angular Cookbook, no RxJS. Ooh, what's happening? Are we getting a lot of errors? Stats? What's happening? So we got at least some errors. Let's see what those are. Let's keep it like this. Okay, so what did we get? Response.body.getReader is not a function, which is here. Should I just put it down here and then do a zoom out? Sorry, if maybe do a zoom in. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this again. Send it, and then we should get, let's see if we can get the response back from the API. Overview, screenshots. I think this just broke. Let's see if I can refresh and try this out again. Nope, nope. Save this, click. Who wrote Angular Cookbook? Send. So let's see what we got back. So we, from the chat, we don't really get back anything. We sent the messages with this, right? And if I look at the message here, we do have the body, but then we also have this. So I think this is not accurate. Let's see. So we're gonna try to assess from here. Get reader. Is it here? No. Fetch. Are we using fetch? Chat config, upload API, sandbox. Mhm. There are a lot of things here. So we got use files, blah blah blah, artifact. I want to see /API/chat. Where is this being used? Next public chat API. So we do make the API call from here. We are using use chat here. Okay. Interesting. And then we have the chat input. Okay. So when we make the backend, in this case, send message feels true. Okay. So when we send this using the use chat, where is this coming from? Oh, from the AI SDK. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Interesting. Let's see. So Vercel, AI SDK, Angular. Is there something for that yet? Interesting. Let's see if we have Angular anywhere. Nope. Let's see if we have it here. Nope. That's sad. Nope. Frameworks. how did I reach that particular issue before? Frameworks, right? In ideas and feedback, sorry, it's in discussions. Interesting. But we okay, let's try to define it here. The get reader method on response.body doesn't exist since the response body is a string. Can you implement something like what the Vercel AI SDK for React does? And we have, what is the package name? And here we are. Let's see how much this understands and helps out. Interesting. So now it's gonna try to implement something with behavior subjects and hopefully update the component level information as well. Interesting. Okay. So what has it done? It says chat model. The chat model is the same. What did we change in chat service? So we have send message, and then okay, then we do the HTTP post text, and then we got the streaming response here. Then we go in there, we split by n, which makes sort of sense. If we look at the response right now, which should be right here. So we do have like all of these on different lines. That makes sense. Then what does it do afterwards? So for each line, if it starts with data, then we do something like this. If it's not done, then we stream this to the front end. Good. But what if it's done then? I think then just it stops. Add a assistant message, which is happening here. Okay, interesting. But I want to see the response again. Did it have data and something like done? So we have type events data. I'm gonna send the data to it. Okay. I'm also gonna try to see what this does at the end. So who wrote Angular Cookbook, right? Let's send it. Interesting. That doesn't make sense at all. Is my server done or what? Stop generating. What happened? Is it because I deleted the PDF? Is that why? That's bizarre. What happened? Come on. Let's try to do this again. So I'm gonna stop this guy. I'm gonna ask this again. Who wrote the Angular Cookbook? Okay, so we got the response here, right? Good. Without the cookbook or without the PDF file. But I want to see now what happened with the chat. So the response is this, or the messages that were sent were this, right? I want to see what what response comes in, and where is that really. So stream something something. I think that use chat. The problem with this is it's gonna give us the data, and then we have the messages right here which are coming from use chat, handle input change, is loading, reload, stop, append. And we are going to chat messages. Then we do have props, pick, reload, stop, append, right? Where are we calling the append method? Okay, so we do send it even further down. Okay. Not really what I was looking for. Not really what I was looking for. So let me send this to Bolt. The response we get from the API call is as follows. Adjust the code accordingly. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so now it's also sending suggested questions as well. Interesting. Interesting. So we've got in the chat service. And we've got in the chat modal component. Okay. Let's see. So we go to our chat service. Chat service. Wrong folder. Chat service. Again, wrong folder. So chat service is here. What is the name? Chat service TS. Interesting. Why did I create it with this name? Chat.service.ts. So we do it like this. We need to fix a bunch of imports. Chat model component. I'm gonna fix that now, but so chat model component. So we go here. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look. So if I run this again now, ooh, do we have an error? No. Good. So if I click this, let's go forward. I think here when we have the messages, we do this, content, and then this. And then regenerate response. Let's do it like this. So who wrote Angular Cookbook? And I need to fix the styles as well. So if I hit send, the messages, who wrote the Angular Cookbook, right? Scroll to bottom. And looking at the network call, it's pending at the moment. Now it got some response. So we got content. That's empty. Interesting. Then we got the content, which is empty. Then we got the content, then we got the content, Angular. So it should be something like this. Nice. Angular Cookbook was written by Mohammad Hassan Ayaz. Hey, let's go. Not too bad. I do want to fix the color again. So here we have text black. Save that. When was the book published? Angular Cookbook published. Okay, good. What topics are covered in the Angular Cookbook? Maybe send this. But this one I think would take a lot of time. There we go. So this is, yeah, interesting. I don't know why I see this twice, but that is a bug that can be solved later on. But this is a good start. What are some practical examples or recipes included in the Angular Cookbook? Can you recommend me specific chapters for beginning in AngularJS or Angular? I think this is good. What if I hit regenerate? So then it sends it, removes the last one, and then regenerates it again. Good. What if I want to regenerate this one? Then it scrolls to the bottom. Okay, so it then brings this forward. When was the book published? And then, yeah, okay, good. Good. Not too bad. I think I like what we have now. So I'm going to stop here because I will, yeah, I think I'll look into this a bit more later on. But I'm going to stop here for now. We've been live for about 3 hours and we did achieve some good things. But I think I do want to do one thing, to be honest. And that is, if I can close this, was it Control Shift L? Yeah. So here I can say maybe in the chat component, chat model. The response from the backend or from the API is not, or I don't know, doesn't does not come in streams. It comes as a whole, I think, which also makes it so that the final result is rendered once. We need the experience to be more like how it happens in ChatGPT. That's one thing. There was also one thing that I was forgetting. So we need it to be streaming. We also need to show a loading indicator while the data or while the response is being streamed. And for some reason, I see the response twice. Fix this. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna bring the code editor a bit closer so you can also see like what's happening here. So this is suggesting some changes in here for the loading changes. But this is not really what I want. No. That's not exactly what I wanted, to be honest. But let's see. I want to still go ahead and apply this. Okay, so then if I try to look at this, so here we are saying send message, which is content, and then we say subscribe. Send message, what does it do? Doesn't it return something? No, I don't want that. So then let's go. Something is wrong. Let's close this. Chat model component. So go back, save this. Yeah, I should still be able to. Who wrote Angular Cookbook? Okay, I'm gonna at least commit to this point. So we have something. Commit m feed chat. Work in progress chat with Angular Cookbook. Okay, so what I want to do now is not to do this, but to see the streaming effect. Angular Python This very common question and students are worried about is AI can replace web developers or engineers. आप क्या सोचते हैं इस बारे में? यार मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि if you're not utilizing AI, then you are not going to be as fast as others. So others would have a leverage on you. So I think we should learn to use AI for our advantage rather than fearing it, so to say. So I hope that answers the question. Angular HTTP requests for streaming like chat GPT response. Good. So I can use the there we go. Let's use Angular's HTTP client with fetch and riddle stream to actually stream the response correctly. Let's see if this understands it. I'm gonna try to talk to this guy to do it. Let's use fetch and readable stream to actually fetch the data in a stream. Use the with fetch the HTTP client to the app. Let's see if this fixes it. साद अफजल कह रहे हैं सर मैंने मर्न सीख लिया और फुल स्टैक प्रोजेक्ट भी बना लिए हैं अच्छा खासा तो इंटर्नशिप का रेफरल चाहिए आपसे अगर आपके लिए पॉसिबल हो IOMechs में या किसी और सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस में यार यू कैन सेंड द योर CV to hr@iomechs.com. आई डोंट रेफ़र पीपल जिनके साथ मैंने काम ना किया हो तो आई डोंट डू दैट तो आप डायरेक्टली अप्लाई कर सकते हो टू एनी कंपनी दैट यू वांट और जस्ट मेक श्योर कि आपके पास प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह वट एवर यू हैव दे आर विजिबल दे आर डिप्लॉयड और लोग देख सकते हैं उसको ठीक है तो डैट आई कैन हेल्प विद या अगर आपको वो रिव्यू करवाना हो तो यू कैन सेंड मी अ मैसेज एंड आई कैन रिव्यू एज सून एज आई कैन ठीक हो गया बट आई वुड नॉट बी एबल टू रेफर आई डोंट रेफर पीपल हु आई हैव नॉट वर्क विद so we got this one. This is actually supposed to be provide HTTP client with fetch, something like this. Did I miss something? Comma. I missed a comma. Okay. So in this case, this seems okay. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna go to, or actually I could just use this guy. So if I go to my app config ts here, I should be able to do this. But I should be able to also pass this here. Provide client with hydration, provide here I should be able to say import from Angular common HTTP. Do I have this already somewhere? Yeah, मैंने कहीं और use किया हुआ है. I'm not really sure. So provide HTTP client. Okay, I have it already on top. So am I using this already? Good. Thanks for the answer from Pakistan. You're a very old subscriber and I think to stream and you're looking tired. I am a bit tired, but I still think I can do a bit before logging off. So we'll see. So we did change the chat service a bit. I think I could copy this now. Let's try to go to the chat service. Chat.service.ts. I want to see if anything has changed here. So we do have the same thing here. Good, but now I have to also update my chat modal component, hopefully. And I hope this, did we update that? Chat service, chat modal component, right? So we did update it. So chat modal component, I hope that they fixed the color or don't ruin this again for me. So let's see. I close this guy, come here, and I want to see the input. So the input, where is the input? This, please have a text black. And now let's see if this works. So who wrote Angular Cookbook? Does it now create? There we go. So now it did try to do it, but I think it's still, it did not. I think it's still, it didn't do it well. Let's see where I can purchase this. Okay, now it does it. So that's good. But did we get the response accordingly, or I don't know. What topics are covered in the Angular Cookbook? I want to see and make it slow as well. So slow 4G. And if I hit this is pending. But as soon as this is done, then I see all the data, which isn't, yeah, which isn't nice. So I don't know. I still get the data, which is nice, but I don't know. Let's see. Let me ask the AI. Are we just simulating streaming now, or actually using readable stream? You've used all of remaining tokens. That's sad. Let me ask this guy. Are we actually using readable stream now, or just simulating the result? See what it says. Okay, then I think we are good. So I'm gonna sign off now. Thank you. I think this is good progress. You have seen the initial implementation of it, but I think you're gonna see much better implementation the next time you'll see me streaming. So having said that, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for all the messages that you sent, and as always, happy coding. I'm gonna see you next time. Take care.